We always say 7-ish, man. You know how it go. Episode 141.
Yep.
Porch Podcast. I hope we ain't doing no clipping. It sound like we might be a little bit.
Let me turn mine down. Yeah. Make sure the red light is gone. Yep. Porch Podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotta give him the blooper, man. Since shit, we out here running a few. We was on good time too, man. Sorry, y'all. We had a little bit of a technical difficulties in the beginning, but y'all don't really need to know that because I ain't really none of y'all business. But welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. That's right. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential. And I'm rocking with my brother, man.
The original, baby. Yes, sir. We back. Pardon the delay. For those in radio land, y'all don't know it's no delay. But we still saying pardon anyway.
We saying pardon to y'all anyway, you know what I mean?
So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. Look, if you're watching this live right now, on Facebook, do us a big favor. Share the content. Share it. Let people know that you up in here with us. Yep. Like we say each and every week, make sure, holler at us. Talk to us. We talk back, man. Let's get into a conversation, baby.
Right. Today's episode, before we get to it, this is episode 141, and we call this one Finesse.
Right.
Yeah, we can't let that go.
Absolutely not.
Got me tripping and finesse. It don't make no sense.
Y'all, at this point, y'all have to realize it. Like, he equates everything to a song. No matter what it is, it's going to be equated to a song.
Right.
It's kind of like that person that memorizes things by whatever system they use. Yeah. So go ahead, brother. What we got for the day, man? You got a quote of the day for us so we can get the party started?
The quote of the day is, persuasiveness takes finesse. It takes an understanding of human psychology, and intention is everything. And this is by Amanda D. Y'all see it. C-A-D-E-E-N. Cading it. I'm going to call it decading it. Yep, that's what I'm going to call her.
Okay.
You see it up there, P?
I see it. I see it. Crystal clear, brother. Crystal clear.
All right.
You know what I mean? So what's how you break it down? Well, how do you feel about that statement that you just read?
Absolutely. I agree. Persuasiveness does take finesse. Most of the time when people are finessing somebody, they're trying to persuade them to do something for them. You know, or something in their favor of that nature. So a lot of times when we're finessing people, as we would like to say, it's a form of persuasion. That's all.
I agree.
Yeah.
I want to read something to you, man. So everybody, man. And it's just breaking down how to finesse people and situations. All right?
Right.
The art of the finesse is all about getting what you want without overplaying your hand. You need tact, diplomacy, and a silver tongue. And you have to have a lot of this boils down to how you present yourself. You want to come off as composed, friendly, but not so friendly that you accidentally cross any boundaries. By paying attention to your body language, behavior, and tone, you'll be able to talk your way right in or out of any scenario. Remember, though, the great power comes with great responsibility. Don't finesse people into doing anything you wouldn't normally want to do if you can manage it. So, I want to...
Where'd that come from? Spider-Man?
No.
Because you said with great power becomes great responsibility. Shout out to JK. I see you, bro. Our season coming up. That Libra season is right there, man. Right there.
Man. Yeah, it is.
Shit.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad to see the brothers in the building. I knew you was going to be here, man. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, that was co-authored by Christina J. That's the last name. Yep. Christina J. J-A-Y. Yep. Right. So, in the grand scheme of dealing with finesse, and the reality of it is that I think what really determines whether or not a situation is being done, is being finessed, it takes cooperation, in my opinion, on both parts.
Right.
Both parties have to be willing. You
Right.
have to have a willing party that's willing to be able to blow smoke and tell her, whatever what needs to be said, stroke an ego, just an ego, pause, and then
Hmm.
also have the other person be willing to be a recipient to play along with the game,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because I think when you get to a certain point, one has to ask the question, what's the difference between a person being finessed and a person being flat out lied to?
Right.
But
That's
before
deep.
we jump into all of that, you know how we do, bro. We like to start off by saying what's been going on for the last week. How your week been, bro?
Relaxing.
Okay, nice. Better than busy.
Relaxing.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Relaxing. I actually had a lot of off time this week, so I was chilling, man. I was enjoying. I was relaxing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's a good thing. Well, same thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Try to just take a little bit more extra time to kind of got some things I want to work on. Me and the wife trying to reinvent ourselves in certain situations. You
Yeah, it's
know,
always good to do
got
that.
some,
Always good to reinvent yourself. Always.
right. Thinking
Yeah.
about some rebranding, some things going on.
Right.
It's that time of the year as the seasons get ready to change and the fall get ready to roll in. You know, that's an indication we getting ready to, move on with the, so to speak, the back end of the year.
But I'm gonna say this:
What's
since
that?
y'all, since y'all going in and trying to do some rebranding and all that type of situation, I ain't gonna waste no time. If you looking for a company, if you looking for a company that you want to
Mhm.
help you plan your event, because you don't know what you're doing, I got the perfect one for you. Let me talk to him, P.
Listen, whether it's your first or your 50th birthday, that 25 years of service, if not more, retirement party, or the day that you and the love of your life share vows to become one, let Front and Center Events take care of all of your event planning needs. Sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy the show, where they truly keep you at the front and center of it all. That's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there today and get that party booked. Back to the show. Absolutely. Absolutely. All of your event planning needs, man. Make sure y'all check them out. No, so my thing is, oh, there we go. My man,
www.fncevents.com.
my man,
Right
my
there
man.
on the screen. Once again, I'm sorry because I still have my mic muted. www. That's how Dots would have said it. www. dot
Okay.
FANDCEVENTS.com. It's still
Absolutely.
on the screen if you need it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, once again, man, I think the concept of dealing with finesse, man, is, because everybody does it. I don't care what nobody say. You're going to have some people that be like, I don't finesse nobody. You finesse somebody. You know what I mean? You may be in the process of finessing someone right now. Once again, the objective is to always try to put yourself in a position where, you can definitely make out, but you don't want to put nobody in a place where, they can constantly, position themselves to possibly hurt themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to think about it. Speaking from a male's perspective, obviously, you know, we go back and forth with a little bit of finessing with the family.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that take place in the house that we know about. We're aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're aware.
Especially
We pay.
families like, let's just go ahead and just go take a little step further. You the only man in your house. I'm the
Right.
only man in my house, and it's four
Yeah.
people that live in the house. So
Yeah.
we finessed in all angles.
All angles.
All angles, man. Yeah.
All angles. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say this. Because the world is full of finesses, and that's all of us,
Yeah.
just just realize what part you're willing to play in the whole process.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to make sure you let it be known very early on. Listen, you got an end goal on this. Okay? You trying to think of the perfect combination of the things that you want to say to me to get me to do what you want me to do.
Right.
Clear. I got it.
Clear. Right.
Let's do this though. Let's
Mm-hmm.
keep it funky.
Keep it
Keep it funky.
1,000 with them. Keep them. Go ahead.
Right. Let's keep it 1,000 with you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? If I tell you that fair exchange ain't no robbery, don't get mad at me.
Yeah. Because
Because
it
you
ain't.
didn't come right out and ask for this. You
Right.
turned around and you tried to finesse your way into
Try
this
to
situation.
finesse me. Yeah.
So if you just kept it real, I might have had a different approach with it. So I just think that that's something that we can have a conversation about. And there's a lot of finessing going on out here, not just in couples and relationships.
Right.
There's a lot of finessing going on in the
It's a
world.
lot. Like peace free. Absolutely. Peace said, peace, little bros. Older gods
Peace,
taught
bro.
me in some way. We all finesse or use people, but strive to never abuse or be abused.
Mm,
That's
I
and
totally
that's
agree.
it. And I definitely totally agree.
I totally agree.
I'm honestly go a step further. Um, I openly talk about how I go to therapy and I talk. You know what I mean? I do what I need to
Absolutely.
do. So
Absolutely.
I was in a
Absolutely.
session yesterday, and it's one thing
Okay.
that I speak upon. I was speaking upon how I am a person that does things because I want to do them. I don't
Right.
always necessarily look for things in return.
Right.
However, I am not naive or believe that I don't realize. Like I don't want a person to don't think I don't notice when they're trying to finesse me. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I ain't gonna play no defense. I'm gonna let you get that easy layup off. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Come on. Okay.
Every
Okay.
now and then I'm gonna let you get that easy layup
Okay.
off because I don't want the foul
Okay.
call. I don't want that type of foul. Because
Right.
when I foul you hard. That's what I do
Right.
right there. I foul you hard. That's what I do.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay. So that's why I said what I said about it's clear that it's happening. You just got to make a decision on what part you're gonna play in it, right?
Exactly.
That's like even when we were kids, we knew that what we said, hey, you know what I mean? What's up,
Hey
sis?
sis.
Welcome
Hmm.
back. Welcome back. We knew when we was kids, they tell you turn around and say, man, you better go. Hey man, be good, man. Write your Christmas list.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Santa watching. And you sit right there and you be like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got it. It's amazing how that same wrapping paper be in your closet, mom, but Santa come and get it the
Right.
same night and wrap everything up, slide it in the tree. And I'm trying to figure out how he got in the house because we don't have a chimney.
Right.
We play along with the finesse action well in advance. My thing
Right.
has always been the same thing. It ain't finessing if I understand what role I play in it.
Yeah. Right. I
Like
mean,
if
if
I
you
know if
if
I know that you really need me to do something, you ain't got to finesse me, man. I
right,
if I
just
can
like
do it.
just like if you really believe, you know, that it's a bunny out there giving you eggs with candy in it during a
Right,
certain time of the year,
right,
whether it's March, whether it's April, and you ride with it.
right,
That's on you. You know what I
right.
mean? But I ain't gonna act like here I don't sit here and I don't never play the game because I done DJ plenty of Easter egg hunts. You know what I mean? That's all I'm
Right,
saying.
right, right. And
You
so
know what I
my,
mean?
my my thing is this, right? Because I think the word comes off as a word of like trickery, right?
Right,
Or trying to, outfox somebody or scam somebody, which is like,
right.
oh man, like when you hear certain words, you like scam.
Yeah. Shout
That
out to
don't sound like,
DK.
whoa,
My Haitian
wow,
scammer. That's what I call him on the
wow,
low.
wow. It's not low anymore.
It's not.
It's clearly. DK, wherever you are, brother, please chime
ah,
in. But I will say
ah.
this. I didn't know that was going to go there. Okay, let me
Nah,
go ahead and fix that.
hey man, he's a
So,
comedian, man. That's part of
yeah,
our finesse. You know what I
right.
mean?
That's
Build
part
the
of the
open
finesse.
beef. So you want to
Right.
tune in. There it is.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I
Mhm.
think that the word kind of has a negative undertone, right?
Right.
And I think that what we should do to bruh is we should do to bruh. What we should do, bruh,
Pause.
is wow. Is that what you want? You just, you ready. You ready for all kind of games now, brother.
I'm
Okay. All right.
finessing you. I'm finessing you
All right.
right now.
Not a
Listen,
problem.
there it is.
There it is. All
All
right.
right.
I'm going to say this, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we could build upon a conversation about how to be able to actually
Mm-hmm.
make the term finesse a little bit more positive.
Oh, you definitely. Finesse ain't always negative. It's not always
Okay.
negative.
Okay.
You know what I mean? One of the top finessers we've seen in our time in our existence is Sean Jay-Z Carter. You know what I mean? He
Absolutely.
finessed his way into a lot of different things to get him to where he is.
There we go.
So people may call it negative. I'm not personally inside of, but at the top of at the same time, he's
You're not
finessed his
personally
way
inside of who?
right. What?
Go ahead. I
What
thought
you
you said
talking
I'm
about?
not personally inside of them.
No,
I'm just
I ain't
trying to
say
figure out this.
nothing. Nah, come on, pick.
Oh, okay.
I
I
didn't
asked.
say that.
Okay, yeah, I would apologize, but you said it. So go ahead.
Nah, what
Go
I
ahead. All right,
said
go ahead.
was,
Oh, all right, my bad.
I'm not inside of their crew. They're personally inside to know
Organization.
what's going to their
Yeah,
organization. There you go.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
use that word. Make it sound better. Thank you for saving your brother on that because that definitely
We all
was
good. We
something.
still here.
But
Hmm.
some people may say he bad business, but yet some people might say he's one of the best businessmen we ever seen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know. So,
Absolutely.
why
So
I say this, I'm gonna just say this why, you
go
know,
ahead.
just to tap on that, like Freeze watching here, like when Tracy Syfax had the block to the boardroom, I remember how he used to talk about some of the most gangsters people he's met in his life has been in that business room. So it's all about finesse at the end of the day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I think it has a negative undertone because of the fact that when people usually say it, once again, I think it's attached to somebody being fooled, somebody being
Uh-huh.
tricked, somebody being led, to a false position. You
Right.
know, I just think that when you understand that finesse to me more is a smooth situation, right?
Yes,
Like if
yes, I
you do
got you.
something with me, I'm a little bit more smooth, so I'm doing it with a little bit more finesse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm doing it in a way that you can blatantly see me do it, right? I'm not hiding it. I'm not going behind your back. I'm not being deceitful in my, approach with the situation. I think if we look at it from the, more smooth approach, the more well thought out, the more, tactical approach, the logistics of everything that goes on, you'll look at finesse as as I could say, a more positive word.
Right.
So, like you use Jay-Z, which is an excellent example of what the finesse is, right? We see a lot of different business people that
Right.
say they finesse their way through the game. My thing has always been the same thing. If you can figure out how to actually
I want
conquer the
to.
game and do
You,
better,
you said conquer. You said how to bring you to bring how to bring the game. I'm just listening to make sure I'm here
okay,
because I got a quote that's
mhm,
gonna go after that. I want you, but go ahead. Listen. Go
absolutely.
ahead. Yeah.
But how to be able to win the game, right, and do it in your own way. I'm just trying to figure out sometimes how is that viewed from a negative perspective when in reality, I think that's the best way to do anything is to find a way to be able to do it your own way without being deceitful to the degree where you're trying to
Right.
fool people and
Yeah.
do it in a way that is positive outcome for everybody.
Right. So here's the thing, because you said game, you said how to bring the game to you, things of that nature. I want you to listen to this quote right here and see, and I'll give you one guess after that to see who said it. It says, I don't know what my label is. I just think of myself as a plain forward. I like to think I have some finesse to my game, but inside the paint is where men are made. If you can't play there, you should be home with your mama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Which
Mm-hmm.
NBA power forward you think made that quote?
Barkley.
Good guess. But the
Well,
highest scoring power forward ever, Karl
Karl
Malone.
Malone.
Yeah,
Okay.
there,
All right.
that right there, Karl Malone.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? And you got to think about it. Karl Malone wasn't necessarily known just to just dunk on you. He just outpowered you and finessed you with certain
Right.
things.
Right.
Yeah. Think the
No, that's
best.
good.
I think one of the best finesse big men we've ever seen is the Dream, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
how that
I agree
go.
with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Once again, I think the biggest thing with that whole
But that's
situation
that in
is
a positive light. That's what I said all that for. That's finesse
yeah,
in a positive
that was
light.
a great. That's a great. No, that was a great point to make because really, in all actuality, I think we're looking at the wrong. I think we look at the word wrong
Right.
sometimes because of how it was introduced.
Right.
That's what I think. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times we look at it from a negative perspective because when you hear somebody is finessing somebody, you think slick, you
Mm-hmm.
think trickery, you think all of those different things. Like, but if you know what exactly is happening, how are you being finessed?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So like a willing participant in the situation is different. When like even what you using Elijah Wan,
Right.
every one of his opponents, they watch film on him like they watch film on everybody else. The difference is that he was so smooth. It wasn't about you knowing what he was going to do because he was going to do it anyway.
Right.
He was just effective in how he went about it. You know what I mean? It was more of a psychological thing than anything else.
Right.
So I'm just saying that because I think that it's okay to be in the world and think from a finesse perspective. As long as you're not trying to mess people over. To me,
Right.
that's not finessing.
Right.
I don't look at that like that. That's more scammy like. I'm trying to trick you like. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I just think that sometimes we got to just look at the words for what they are.
Right. And just I'm gonna piggyback off what Free said here. He said he's definitely deceptive. I didn't appreciate what he did with poor homeowners around Brooklyn Stadium. And I know you're referring to Jay-Z. And I can honestly say I agree that I didn't, let's say, like, Free, me and you talk about it a lot of time. Somewhat he did it a way we wouldn't have done it. Because we and you used to talk about all the time how to save the city and do different things. We gotta own our city. Like, we basically gotta have more mom and pop shops. We gotta bring Trenton back. Like, we gotta make it a reason where people will want to come here to do certain things. So
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z's mind, he looked at his pocket. I feel like if Brooklyn, because Brooklyn has been gentrified, Let's just say that. But I look at it as he feel like he is one of their owns. But I don't think I would have took that approach if I was in his position. But the dude at the same time told us at the beginning of his, at not the very beginning of his career, but you can't knock the hustle, and that's his mind state of it in a lot of ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though we don't necessarily agree with it all. When I say we, I'm talking about me and Free. Don't necessarily agree with it all the time. So
Yeah. I think that once again, man, it's the participation level on both sides.
right,
If I'm doing something to directly hurt you,
right,
I'm not finessing you. If
absolutely,
I'm being blatant in what I'm doing, that's blatantly obvious. I think the difference in that situation is that sometimes if you're being deceptive or deceitful, that means that you're telling somebody something or giving them a false pretense of what you think the situation could be so you can get the result that you want.
right,
Could that be viewed as finessing? To some degree, yes, because once again, it was introduced more from a scams perspective than from a smooth perspective in the way that you go about doing things from a positive perspective.
right,
Once again, I just think that everybody has to realize the role that they play. So if you're a willing participant in something and everything inside of you is screaming that there's something deceptive or deceitful that's going on, and you choose to ignore that, how much of that is ignorance and how much of that is it being finessed?
right,
And so what we have to wind up doing more often than not is we have to ask ourselves the question as these things are unfolding, am I actively being a participant of this situation knowing what I know? Or am I just being led along the way because
right,
of the fact that I just want to be a part of the situation?
right,
So
right.
that's what I'm saying with that situation. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Trust me, because you can
Yeah,
have people that's on any level that can shake your hand and stab you in the back. They only need
all the
one hand to
time.
shake your hand.
Yeah.
So what do you call that? You call them backstabbers, right? Or
They
you're not saying
smile in your face
right,
all the time. They want to take your place. Some
right,
backstabbers.
right.
You knew it was coming.
Why not? I mean, a great song. But that's what I say. That's what I mean by when I say we give. Me and you've said it before. E. We give more power to meaning of words.
Right.
We can give you all kind of different examples of certain people who finesse certain things. Like, if all right, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
If I figure out the cheat code in terms of how to go up the ladder in the corporate space,
Right.
am I finessing the business or am I finessing the company because I know how to go up the ladder? Or have I done what I needed to do to be able to find out exactly what's going to propel me and take me to the next level? And now I'm exercising that thing, or am I more doing that? Which one am I doing? Am I finessing the
I
company or am
think.
I elevating
Well,
myself?
I look at all of that as finesse, but not.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's negative finesse. It's finesse because you're competing. You're competing with somebody else in that, and sometimes, for example, even though you know or you're more educated, it might just be the relationship with somebody that can get you through there. Because we all know in a lot of situations, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily say that because I'm not looking at finesse as always a negative thing. I
Right.
look at it as a more broad, open thing. That's why I'm saying that. Now, if we was looking at it in a negative state, that wouldn't be finesse. That'd just be you were very knowledgeable in understanding how the game works. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? To get
Right.
in it. Because it's all a game. You just got to know the loopholes and the rules. It's just like when
Right.
you go back, and I'm related to basketball. You know what I mean? That Euro step wasn't there back in the day. You know what I mean? So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times this handle, when people say, "Oh, it's a travel ball," they've mastered that millisecond with a ball not in their hand and some other. They almost like bought a snippet of and one over. And if we look at it and say he walked, but no, he finessed that loophole. He tight roped it right there.
Right.
Just like
Right.
Patrick Mahomes might have just poured a little finesse out there to get the highest paid.
It could have,
Yes, sir, that's what I'm saying. But
but
that
even
doesn't
that's a
that
great
doesn't mean it's
example.
negative.
But like you said, in that
Yeah.
agreement right there, that's both sides being willing
Right.
participants in that situation. Just to respond to what you're saying, big bro, I feel you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You definitely have a little bit more in depth to what was going on in that transaction dealing
Yeah.
with Jay in those different places. Just to reiterate, y'all, in case you can't see it, it's his facts. I agree with your point. Yet he knows the history of black people and land.
Right.
He was used to make them feel it was a genuine deal. It wasn't. Once the deal was done, his percentage was taken back or sold. He used his popularity to finesse them when he was sadly lying. And in
Right.
that case,
You're right.
that would be more a situation of finessing because of the
Yeah.
fact that if he knowingly did what he did,
Yeah.
then he was a willing participant. That's the part I was saying that's a
He
little bit
lay.
different. Then he led them, and he intentionally led them, astray, so to speak.
He lay low
And it,
browned him.
right. So
From remember
he
Lalo
did.
Brown, the barber from the barbershop. I mean the alderman from the barbershop, the movie. Ice Cube Part One. Remember he was trying to take the
Kind of,
money.
kind of, bro. I'd have to go back and look at
No,
it. But
I finish. I let you finish. Then I
but,
remind you. Go
but,
ahead.
but the point that I was making in that situation, and I definitely agree with you, Free,
Hmm?
is I'm going to say that I can't make him intelligent enough to know the things that he knew and allow him to be blind in the same light. So I see
Right.
why you feel the way you feel about it.
Right.
We can't give him credit for being a highly intelligent person who, quote unquote, was so dope that he finessed his way through the music business, but didn't have enough keen sense to be able to know how they were using him more like a pawn in that situation. So to that degree, absolutely. You know what I mean? He was playing a fraudulent position in that. I'm on the outside looking in on that, so I don't know all the particulars of it, but if that's how that went, then yes, he was definitely being more deceptive than anything else. However, his popularity, unfortunately, because of what he genuinely built on his own, was the same thing that was used to be able to lead other people along. And I'm not going to blame them. I'm not going to blame them. But once again, like we said before, we look at the word of finesse and look at the people that it's coming from, and we grade it based on them and what we know, and we go along with it. So sometimes I think that we have to be a little bit more, how can I say, intuitive, or more, or not intuitive, but more into who we're talking about. We need to look deeper and more than just the surface level of who they are and what's being done. Because, like you said, the history is what the history is. So that's
Yeah.
unfortunate. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate. That's different. Yep. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Ed.
Yeah. No, I was just talking about the Lilo Brown, but that ain't nothing important. But it just relates because they were trying to gentrify the area. And remember, he was trying to take the check and all that type of stuff.
Got
But
you.
that's what pretty much where I was going with it. But I just got a question for you. Who was one of the in a way? I'm not going to say it's positive for them, but negative for you. Who was the first finessers you seen in your life? You don't have to be named. I'm just saying what type of person.
I agree, big bro. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. So I'm gonna say Uncle Haas and Uncle Elvin.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't say name. I was the type of person that wasn't the first ones I noticed that was finessing. But go ahead.
Because I looked at the word finesse from a different perspective.
Right. Yeah.
I
Not,
didn't see I didn't
so
see a
that's
bunch of people
so
doing what they were
it's.
doing.
I asked the question wrong. It was supposed to be two. It was supposed to be two questions in a positive way, and who's the negative way. That's what I was supposed to say.
All right,
So
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 free.
they're the positives. They're the positives.
Say they're
You
the
know.
positives. Okay.
Look.
So it was free.
Free said
Yeah.
pastors.
All
You
right.
know what I
Hey
mean?
yo, that right there. So
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
tell you the first ones I see. And you know what's crazy? They really were the first ones, but I didn't notice that because I wasn't taught for them. But I'm gonna tell you in a negative way, the first ones I seen.
right.
Drug addicts, man. They finesse their way to get they hit a lot of time. I ain't trying to be funny. None they come around here, they say they gonna clean up. Here's the move.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you want me to clean your yard up? You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
clean your yard up. I'm gonna clean all the trash, rake it and everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And boom. And let's say they using your leaf blower.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
one day you get home, bitch, that leaf blower is gone completely.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer used to clean your shit. It's cleaning everybody else. Then it's sold for a bump. He finessed it the whole time. He didn't really want to clean.
Yeah.
He wanted to do that.
So I'm gonna say two. All right, two people that I saw finesse, not two specific people, but like you said, now that I understand more of what you're saying, like groups of people.
Yes, groups.
Okay, I'm gonna go teachers and I'm gonna go coaches
In a good way though.
in a good way. Now I've seen teachers encourage people, right, that don't believe in themselves. So if you think about it from a finesse perspective, I'm giving you all of the support, all of the energy, all the motivation, all the inspiration, all the encouragement, right? By looking at you and telling you certain things that you do well, you know, illuminating those things, bringing up the other things that you need to do better, but not bringing them up first, like everyone else may do, and say, yo, man, you know what I mean? You got to, do better at this and do better at that and bring this grade up and do that.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it from the perspective they can finesse you by giving you different credit for certain things. I mean credit, I don't mean points, I mean just encouraging credit.
Right.
Um, and as
Mm-hmm.
far as coaches, seeing coaches coach people up. Literally one of the best skill sets for a coach, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
is the
It's from
ability to be able to finesse somebody.
yeah. Tell them that they
To get
ready when
them,
they know they even not.
yeah, or get them ready.
Mm-hmm.
Even before they're physically ready, get them mentally ready. And
Right.
when I say coach, I don't mean just a sports coach. I mean, you got sports coaches, you got, obviously, life coaches, as in my situation, like you
Mm-hmm.
got different things that you work
Yeah.
with. And I agree with, okay, down back. I see you says significant others slash spouses. Wow. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Definitely chime in on that one. Let me know why you feel that way about that situation.
I know why she feel that way.
Okay.
Them the
All
ones
right.
depending how she look at finesse. You know what I
Okay. So
mean?
who's your positive? You said your positive was E.
My positive was I said my negatives. My negatives was a drug addict. My
Okay.
positives. My positives, um, parents.
Okay.
Parents.
I
Any
like it.
parent. Cause
I
you have
like it.
to
I want to add to it.
this
Yeah.
is the thing. A parent can know. A parent always has an idea of what they want their child to be.
Okay.
They have a vision for their kids of how
Right.
they see them.
Right.
One of the hardest things for a parent to do is to realize sometimes, not all the time, but that their kid is just not going to be the vision that they see for, and that kid's going in their own direction,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay. Okay.
So when you get to this point right here, you got those type of parents to say, I don't know why you going down there to them dance studio. They ain't gonna never ask you to be in the baby video, right? You know, that's a laugh.
Glad you made the decision.
Or you gonna have other ones say, keep dancing, baby. I can see you on the stage dancing with all the superstars, right? The reason why it's finessing is because neither one really don't believe it a lot of times. They just know that's the right thing to say. Not all parents.
No, I agree with you.
Not all
I,
parents.
no,
But a
I
lot
and
of
I
them
agree
know,
with
like, okay, if they want this is my time to say something, so I'm gonna say it good. You know what I mean?
you.
And
Mm-hmm.
right there, a lot of times that clicks that emotion, and then you start to get that, and you start looking for that cheerleading. But then when you come across people that really do believe in you, and you don't believe that they believe in you, guess what you do sometimes? Finesse yourself right about your own situation.
Right. So
You
you
can
can't just
negatively
hang that.
finesse
Yeah.
yourself sometimes.
That's a great law, but bruh, that's a great point. That's a great point, right? We could be so, and this is why I say what I say about the concept of not looking at the words for their intended purpose, right? You could be so busy trying to be, you know, self-satisfying, right? You can be so busy trying to be slick or whatever you want to call it, to the point that you finesse yourself out of a situation that you didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to. There's certain things, bro. If all you do is ask, you get an answer. You know why people, in my opinion, do a lot of finessing?
Yeah,
They
because
can't
they
handle
the
what the
truth.
answer may possibly be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you're equipped to be able to deal with whatever the situation presents and puts forth towards you, you don't feel the need to finesse anybody with anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is.
Right.
And so that's why I say, from the perspective, if you take the negative side of the situation and you look at finesse from the perspective of your individual skill set, what you're going to contribute to your own success, not about it being something that's being done to deceive others, to be deceitful or anything like that, but to put yourself in a position where you can actually just, work harder,
Mm-hmm.
Be smarter, ask the right questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Put yourself in the right positions. That way, when the opportunity presents itself, you're ready to take advantage of it. An advantage in the sense of you're ready and prepared to be able to act on the situation. I
Right.
just think that when we look at it, it's just got a negative kind. And it ain't the only word, but
Nah.
it's one of the ones that I think that if we really understood how we wanted to kind of approach things, we could find out the finesse isn't bad. Like you said, our introduction into the world, depending on how you came up, we were told that it was, a Santa Claus
Yeah. Or Easter Bunny giving you
or
candy.
an Easter bunny. You know what I mean? And there's certain things that you understood, like they finessing me,
Right.
But I'm gonna be a willing participant because I want that video game system, or I
Right.
want those pair of sneakers. So we learned so very early on that it comes from a place of the seek.
Right.
And that's how we view the word. And so
Right.
even when we get older, we don't apply ourselves in that way.
Right.
So
That's
I
why you
just
gotta
think that
look at
that's
you gotta
missing.
look at the capacity of words a lot of times.
Absolutely,
Just like when
absolutely.
you said if I knew if are you finessing about using the cheat code to get to the top of the ladder. Nah, Pete, we put the cheat code in to go to the end of Mike Tyson punch out. We put the
Right.
cheat code in to get 30 men on
On
Contra.
contra. Right,
Yeah,
right,
we
right.
put the cheat
Mhm.
code in to get the skip 5 boards on Mario. So like everybody would take that cheat code to get the finesse their way to the top of that corporate ladder in certain situations. But like Free said, you don't sell your soul for it.
Now, no,
That's not what you do.
no. And I don't believe that you should ever do anything like that. Speaking of finesse, man, me and you had a conversation. I don't know if many of you guys been tuning in, man, to the joint Winning Time on
Yes, winning
HBO.
time.
Oh, the
Yes.
series on the dynasty of the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. This is the part where you can go ahead and, go get something to drink or something and come right back. Just give us a couple minutes. Spoiler alert.
It's over, man.
They finessed us.
Yeah, they finessed us. Gave us 2 seasons. And I think,
They finessed us.
I meant, this is what I wanted to talk about. This is what I believe. Like me and you said, off air because we never off lines all the time,
Never,
right?
never,
Clap it
never.
up.
Not
Clap
one
it up
of
for
them.
that.
Absolutely.
So, do you remember all the backlash that was being caught when at the end, during season 1?
Yep, I sure do.
Okay. So they were complaining. Everybody was saying, they were saying Magic wasn't the happiest. They saying he wasn't like that. They was trying. Norm Nixon said it was exaggerated. Jerry West said I'm not like that. Even though my man that played Jerry West be having me in tears all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
He looked for a word. He looked for a reason to drop that F bomb, man.
yeah,
Word is by that all
yeah,
the time,
yeah.
but but it take me out every time because
Him and
he
Dr.
lose.
Bus, man. Him and
Yeah, him
Dr. Bus.
and Dr. Bus, right? So to make a long story short, I think okay, y'all keep complaining about it. Okay, we gonna end it on some bullshit. And that's what they did. You know what I mean? B, think about it. If somebody keeps saying your story that you better trying to tear it down, it's getting good ratings, and they saying this ain't the truth and this and that, and all these rich people, and they don't like you. All right, I'm gonna end it, man, but I'm gonna do it my way, and that's what they did.
Right. So I'm trying to remember. Was it on regular HBO, HBO Max? Regular HBO, right?
Regular HBO, but
Okay.
you could watch it on the apps. That's on HBO Max,
Okay.
right? But it was on regular HBO, yeah.
So I'm looking at the finesse a little deeper than I need to, probably.
Right.
My thing has always been the same thing.
Hey,
You
what's
gotta be
up,
a,
Unc? My
you
bad,
gotta
bro.
be a willing participant. Nah, you gotta know whether or not you're a willing participant. Oh, what's happening with you? You know, you gotta know whether or not it's worth your time, right? So when we watched Winning Time, I agree with you. I think that there was so much backlash and trash talked about the first season that they made an executive decision. I ain't got to take this.
Right,
Because it's not like they can rewrite history. The only thing they can do is tell the history.
right,
They can only tell it. And truth be told, once you get to a certain point, it's time for you to pretty much wrap it up and be done with it anyway. My thing was simple. Uh, this didn't end right.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The ending.
Yeah, Yeah, it just
That's why
ended
they
right.
ended.
So,
Okay, y'all complaining. We gonna end it. We gonna end it this way, the dumb way.
right.
And we have facts that this all happened.
Yeah, exactly. Love you too, won't.
Love you too,
Yeah.
yep. Because
Yeah.
they
You know what I
think
mean?
about it. It shouldn't have ended that way. But yet everything that it ended with was the truth.
Which is why I think once again, whenever you're doing something like that, you can't. You can only tell the story.
Right.
You can't put Dominique on the Lakers.
Yeah.
You can't put Jordan on the Lakers. However many years like you can't do it because it didn't really happen in real life.
You can exaggerate it and finesse it though.
That's all you can do. Exaggerate and finesse it. That's all
Right.
you can do. And
Right.
so I think that at the end of the day, once again, they
It's
made a
like
decision. I
it's
don't
not
gotta
like you.
take it, man.
It's like what you said last week. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You said, it's not what you said. It's not who you are. It's what,
Yeah,
it's,
there it
it's
is.
what you
That's what I'm
answer
talking about.
to. It's not what you. It's not what they call you. It's what you answer to.
Right.
Right? That's what it was.
Exactly. Look,
That's what it was. You know what I mean?
you start
So
laughing.
you remember season 1. They had Lakers. I mean, they had Magic straight in the game. Strokey dope, man. You remember that? You know.
Yeah. Well, they was going to make sure they put a lot of.
First of all, this is how you know it wasn't. But I'm just spoiling her all the way around because you should have seen it by now. We gonna talk about it. Other shows gonna recap. How many shows, P, have you ever seen that when it starts somewhere, the show don't at least catch up to that?
Not many.
Okay.
Not many. And y'all saw how I started with the
See,
announcement.
yes. So season 1 starts with the announcement. But you end the series them losing to Boston in 84? Come on, man. The announcement was I believe it was close to my birthday.
Everybody who wound up going out there to get the app and everybody else who added it to their cable providers list, they finessed you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm just being completely honest. Nah, I just think that a lot of, and that show had a lot of finessing in it.
Right.
Whole lot of it. You know what I mean? But I just think that, it kind of ended in the wrong. It just ended wrong to me. So
I'm trying to see.
that's what's going on with that, man.
Hold up, the announcement. I want to see that he made the announcement.
What's going on? Good brother. Peace, man. Peace. Salute, brother. Appreciate you stopping by. You know what I mean? Good brother T.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I mean, that's my main thing, bro, is making sure that you understand what part you play in any of this situation dealing with finessing. And I just feel like we got finessed on that particular series. And
yeah, like I said,
it is what it is.
We all know it's like I said, we all know that it started with him making the announcement. I can't find it right now, but making the announcement.
Yeah.
And the series didn't even get back up to that. And it's called winning time. Okay? So I'm going to just say some fun facts. Pat Riley became the coach with like 81, 82 or something like that. But he coached all the way to 90 with LA. You know? In that time, I think they won like 5. You feel me?
Okay.
Something like that. So with 4 or 5 or something like that. So at the end of the day, when you actually look at that, because you got to remember when the Sixers won theirs, that's when they bumped Magic and the Lakers, you know what I mean? Back in 83. But you lose and you don't show when they went back to back, you know what I mean? Had a chance to three-peat, all that type of you get what I'm saying? Like all that.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was one of the shows, man. And I just felt like, it's a bunch of them. Bunch of them, man. But just dealing with the whole concept of dealing with somebody, finessing you and all that kind of stuff. Look, my thing is always at the end of the day, man, just, pay attention.
Pay attention. You got it, bro.
Man.
That's all. Just pay attention.
Just pay attention, man. You know what I mean? You understand it. Like I said, even when we deal with couple stuff, let's do a little conversation about that, man. You know what I mean? As a husband. I can't speak of nothing else but as a husband.
Right. Absolutely, bro.
I don't mind being finessed sometimes, man.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't mind either. I only let it happen in my house, though. I only let them get me. I be like,
I'm only married. I'm only one person's husband. That's the only place it can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But in
you one person's husband, but the kids can finesse you a little bit too. Your daughters can get you a little bit.
I'm I'm not
Nah,
married.
not married. That's what I said. You got one wife, but they can finesse you a little bit.
Nah, I got obligations my kid obligations and my wife obligations. Sometimes they blend well, but then most of the time they're very
Do
separate.
you ever get jumped? You be getting jumped sometimes for the finessing?
Nah, because I'm a willing participant most of the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you understand, I'm a willing
Yeah,
participant too. But you ever,
yeah.
when I mean jump, not really like you not agreeing with, but
I know you. Yeah, I know you
you
mean
look
from
at it, you look at it like they all coming, they all looking at y'all all throwing it out there. Yo, yeah, we want. Can we get cookies? Yeah. Nah, I need this.
yeah.
All types of weird shit sometimes, bro. That's
Let me,
what.
let me, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
When it's sort of like anytime a man ever says that
Yeah,
before
they
they get
kick.
ready to say the next thing,
You gotta
really give
listen.
it some serious thought. Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. Like I said earlier, everybody knows what role they play in the finesse move, time, whatever you want to call it. If it's about being slick or whatever, a person trying to get something, whatever.
Right.
Most of the things, and this is me giving them credit, that they come to me with, they know that if they present it the right way, more often than not, they can
Right.
have it.
Right.
So it's all in the presentation
Right.
with
That's
it.
it's the same thing with me. They know pretty much it. Don't try to finesse me where you trying to do something like you trying to play me behind my
Right,
back. Cause now I don't
right,
want to give you nothing. But they don't
right,
try me like they don't never try me like that. None of them. None
right.
of them.
Because even then,
Only one
listen,
can get that off, and they think they be getting it off. Is the one I'm married to.
well, this is okay. So can we say this?
What?
At some point, there's a bit of I can use certain, aspects of myself to benefit me. If you understand what I'm saying, in
Oh,
case the kids want to watch the show. Now I'm not saying that for me. I'm doing what I'm
nah,
saying.
that
I
would be
put it out
nah.
there.
It ain't that. Nah, it won't be like that.
No, no, I'm not saying you. I'm not. Listen, I'm just saying in general.
Oh, you just saying not us, but the
No,
universal you. Yes,
the
yeah,
universal you, right?
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, that's happening.
I I think that of course, right? Because as a man,
Right.
I don't think that we're very complicated. I don't.
No, we're not.
I think that we're pretty
Uh,
straightforward. So
yeah, they
I
think
think
we are.
I wanna squash the myth that you can get anything from a man once he's satisfied.
Yeah, nah, that's not it. That's not
I
the
want to
truth.
get that might work when they're young to
Yeah,
some degree. You get a little older as a man, it's different. I'm just putting that out there for anybody
right,
who need to hear that. That's different. Okay? Understand something. Everybody understands what their role is. Everybody understands what's coming out of the situation in the deal. You know what I'm saying? Dom, I see you laughing, but it's yeah, it's the real deal.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, if you come slide your feet underneath my thigh because your feet is cold, but you want to play close,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's a chance that this may be leading someplace where there may be something on the back end of that.
Mm-hmm.
That might work when you're younger. When you get older, you just be like,
Yeah,
listen, everybody know why we're here.
yeah. Just ask me
We
what you want.
know we know why we're here for the meeting. What meeting this is about? Just tell me, just ask me what you want.
Mm-hmm.
That way it won't feel a little transactional. Okay? Just trying, just trying to
Mm-hmm.
make it is what it is. So that's the only thing, man. You know what I mean?
Look at
Just
that.
got
Look
to
at that. Dom, you crazy. You just super funny.
mm-hmm.
You said, now, facts. Now it's babe. I'll fill your gas tank up if you get my hair did. That's super funny.
Wow.
Yeah, I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah. But think about that, y'all. I mean, so I want to see. Dom, I'm glad you're right here. Speak from a lady's perspective, right? When you see a man, quote unquote, finessing you, are you are you of the mindset, I can't believe you trying to finesse me and think that you can get over like this, that, and the third? Or are you a willing participant more often than not? Because it's really not finessing when you know what the end game or the end result is actually being shot for.
Well, you have
Oh,
your answer. Post it down there. Down, we're gonna continue as you get that together. I just want to know, um, finessing
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
when and when not.
There you go. Wow. I like that. I like that. Okay. Good question. That's a good
Mm-hmm.
question.
Yeah, I'm asking you that.
Yep. Oh, that's my question.
Yeah, I'm asking
Okay.
you that.
All right,
Yeah, I
cool.
can't. Bro, we
All right,
can't
cool.
wait for them to
No, no,
type.
no.
It'd be dead air.
No. Cool. Not a problem. I'm going to say this. It's not finessing if we're going to go ahead and actually discuss what both parties need. It is not a finesse.
Right.
So, you say when to finesse and when not to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming when you're the type of person who can't just be truthful and transparent, you have those moments. I don't feel like I need to finesse at any point in time
Right.
if I just be totally honest.
Right.
So it's kind of difficult for me to say, well, I'll finesse at this point in time. Like I encourage, I ain't looking for finesse. I'll motivate. I ain't looking to finesse. See how funny that is? Like if I get you to do something and I motivate you to doing it, what's the difference between that and me and finessing you to do it?
Right.
Like that's really a question for you. If I say something to you and I motivate you to do the thing that I want you to do. Like I'm telling you, E, you can do it, baby. You can knock this thing out the park. I know you're capable of it. Go in there and do your 1, 2. I done saw you do it 1,000 times. Why this time gonna be different? If I'm encouraging you and motivating you, what's the difference between that and me turning around and be like, I don't see nobody over there that can stop you, bro. Personally speaking, I ain't, man. Listen, can't nobody in here run faster than you. Ain't nobody in here stronger than you. You know what I mean? Hey, man, you the man. So what's the difference in those two situations?
Right.
This is why I say, from the perspective of finessing him, okay, you can look at motivating as a positive word, encouragement, right? I told you all those different things that can get you to do things differently, right? Or believe in yourself. One is finesse, right? They look at it as finessing, and the other one they look at it as motivation. I think once again, man, it's capacity and power work. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. If it's all positive, then it's all good. I agree. I
It's
agree.
so good. It's
I
all
agree.
right. All day. All
So
night.
let's end it on this part though, in terms of that, bro, and then we can probably get into some questions. I've been in situations, obviously, sometimes where you want people to be encouraged, right? And I had to learn sometimes it's not my words that may encourage a person to do something. It may be the same words I say coming from someone else,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's the exact same thing, but that person says it to the person I wanted to hear it, and they get them to do the things that need to be done. I guess if I had to say that there was ever a time in my life when you say you pick a place, you pick a point and to ask that question about now's the time to finesse versus not being the time to finesse, I would say once I discovered that there may be someone else who can bring the point home that's
Mm-hmm.
not me, I've learned to be able to talk to that other person and almost use them as a buffer to get the same point across to the person I wanted to. I guess if you want to look at that as a form of finessing, then I've done that quite a few times.
Right.
But it's never for my own personal gain or benefit. It has always been to encourage a person. And sometimes you got to go by way of where they're comfortable at. And if that's that other person, then it is what it is.
Right.
But all they're doing is reinforcing what I said anyway. So I still don't look at that as finessing.
Right.
Yep. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So let's get into some would you rather's.
Welcome to another episode of Would You Rather. I don't know where I get this voice from, but it's back. Would you rather me be like this, or would you rather me? Now let's get back to the show.
Welcome to another episode of Would You Rather, where I'm gonna ask you a series of questions.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna give me an answer, and depending on the question, I may entertain that with an answer of my own. For those who are watching it live, please feel free to leave a comment on your answers, and we'll get with them as well. So we'll jump right out with this one right here, man. Would you? All right, no. You can only hear one song for the rest of your life. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather listen to Baby by Justin Bieber or Starships by Nicki Minaj? Yeah. Yeah. Got a finesse.
I'm a DJ. I'm a blend one with the other one, and I'm listening to both songs.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to
I
finesse.
don't. Yeah, I don't have a response to that one.
Nah, I don't want. I listen. What can I do not to hear neither one of them? I don't
Put
need
your
to hear.
fingers in your ears or something. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
I'm saying I can't take a shot of something and just that. I mean, I'm clear.
Yeah,
Like
I
with
know.
drink champs.
One day, I know what you want. Yeah,
Shout out
one
to
day we
drink
go.
champs.
One day, all that will be lined up, right? You know. Maybe soon. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Um, would you rather be a famous celebrity or married to a favorite celebrity and you are unknown?
Mm.
But your answers in the comment section at the bottom,
Married to
yo.
a famous celebrity and unknown.
Okay. 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 I am going to say the same.
Mm-hmm.
The same. Although I could live in either
Oh, I could
position.
live. It's super.
I can flourish in either position.
Yeah, I'm the man.
I'll say that I'll live in as the unknown because I just think that it'll be interesting to see how that is. Not that I've ever been a super famous celebrity and know what that's like, but I just think that a lot changes for you
Right.
specifically in that role. So,
Yep. You'll be
say
Stedman.
that. I
Stedman is
think
known, but I don't know what he looked like.
okay, okay. Yeah, I seen it. He's he's the guy that's smiling a lot. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? All you gotta look for a dude is to smile a lot. If you could have a talent that could make you famous, what would it be? What would you rather it be? Singing, acting, dancing, being an artist, or an influencer?
See, everybody would expect Mr. Influential to be an influence,
Okay.
but an artist, because an artist does everything. Artists can sing, produce, they can act. They're everything. They're creative. An artist.
I see you
Design
free. I
clothing.
see you free. Yep. Yep. Unknown and paid. I see you, sis. Unknown. Everybody want to be unknown, eh?
Yeah.
Brother Free, I see you up there too. Influencer, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. No question. No question.
Absolutely.
I'm right there with you. Avi, I think it's pretty slam dunk which one I would want to be an influencer. Um,
Hold on, real quick. I got a call. It's important. Hold on, but keep talking to her.
yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say that as well, just looking at some of the responses. I think that there is a privilege to being able to be married to the person that is a celebrity because I think that at the end of the day, they're going to need some level of normalcy in their life. You know what I mean? And because of the general public or those who know them, obviously it's going to make it a little bit difficult for that to be the case. I would want them to be known
Yeah,
and then
I'm
I'd
back
be
here.
able to
I'm
be
back.
at peace at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with that.
That call was for
Um,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I doubt it, but all right.
They wanted to know
But
part of that program you in, that you really doing, did you eating me for a reference, or you really doing a podcast right now? That's what they wanted to know.
okay, would you rather be an Olympic athlete or a world famous scientist who cured a disease?
World famous scientist who cured the disease.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that being able to just make that overall change in the world
Hmm.
versus being known as an Olympic athlete, that's only, my scientific findings to cure a disease may outlive me, versus me, winning an Olympic race this year and, never being able to get back there and do it again.
Right.
Okay. Okay. If you could only choose one type of holiday for the rest of your life, would you pick beach? When they saying holiday, y'all, they mean they're coming from a place of vacation. Um, so you can say I'll substitute the word holiday for vacation. Would you pick a beach or a city break?
Um, I actually enjoy both. You know, if I'm going beach, I want to leave the country. The all inclusive and the beaches just look better to me. I'm not a big fan of actually going to the Jersey Shore. Sounds
Gotcha.
crazy, but I'm just not. Um, I'd rather just go over there. Something about that island, man. It's the vibe. It's just different. The wind blow different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy some cities, some city breaks.
Mm-hmm.
I like Houston. I like DC. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So Atlanta, like that's just how it is. So I like them both. It's hard for me to choose in that. But mainly, I
Ah,
guess I gotta go beach. I guess I gotta go beach if it's a vac. It's not considered A beach break is not considered a vacation. Vacation and be me being. I think it would have been better if it was cruise or resort. If it would, that question would have been asked.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say beach. I'm more.
Yeah, more beachy.
More.
But I just don't want to be. I'd rather go to a, out of the country Caribbean beach.
Oh yeah, no question.
Yeah.
No question. Definitely something. Yeah, I agree with you totally on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Okay. Speaking of work, would you rather live within walking distance to work, or live further out, but you have your own personal driver?
Mm. Further out with a personal driver.
I agree. I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I had to learn how to love that long distance drive between work and home
Mm-hmm.
because I call that my decompression time.
Right.
So I think that if I had a person that, you know, had a further commute, but it was a driver, yeah. I don't. And then for me, if it's in walking distance, even on my days off, 9 times out of 10, I'm riding somewhere near the job, and I just want to not have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of part of the reason why I've always kind of, for the most part, at least the back end of my career, lived much further away from where I worked at because I liked the separation of going to the store and just being in a different environment and not
Right.
having to do the same things.
I think that the only thing about that is me or the stores and all that. Definitely, I like that. But
Mhm.
I don't always want to drive it. That's why the personal driver thing really was a big plus for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because if I really want to decompress, my personal, I want to be able to look at something, maybe listen to some music just in my ears, not loud. It just really helps. You get what I'm saying? Read the paper, like anything other than okay, look at him, and look at him right here about to cross over. You know what I mean? How I be you in the
yeah,
road.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Interesting question, man. Yeah, like I said, me personally, just from my own experience, I didn't mind the commute. I am not a person who minded commute
Yeah, I got a
personally.
little commute myself now. You know what I mean? So I get it.
I think the hours that I work definitely afforded me an opportunity to miss a lot of traffic and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
that personal driver situation definitely would make things, more convenient for me. So, interesting question. Would you rather never listen to your favorite artist, right? Never listen to your favorite artist's music again, but be friends with them, or have front row seats to all of their gigs, but they have no idea that you exist?
So
So one, you like just a fan anyway. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
front row seats to all their gigs, and I don't exist. I'm cool with that. They don't gotta know me because
Mm.
they're artists, so they can be creative. So that mean they can morph into something else. I might not like them as a friend. They might be corny as hell, man. You know what I mean? I might not want to rock with them like that because I really wouldn't want to be R. Kelly's friend.
That's what's up, Free. I hear you, big brother. You're gonna be the mayor with the driver. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. I
right.
see you, brother.
You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be R. Kelly's friend. Nah, because I'm
Yeah,
not into what he into.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. No, I think
Yeah,
that. Wow.
yeah. What
Well,
you
you
mean?
know, no.
Oh.
You pick one that you pick one where it's slam dunk. Like, okay,
Threw
cool.
it
You
off
know,
the
like,
glass, too big. Yanked him
yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. With the gym lights off, nobody
Right.
couldn't even see it. You couldn't even
Yeah.
see it. That was
Nah,
crazy.
finesse my way to that one.
That
Yeah.
was nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that was nice. All right, so where's
Yeah.
the other one? Okay, where it is right here. All right. Another interesting one. Would you rather give the best gifts, right, or the best advice?
Advice. Because gifts are good. Gifts are good to give special, they want to be memorable, but even the most memorable gifts get overlooked sometimes. But good advice is never forgotten.
Absolutely,
So advice,
absolutely.
man.
So I'm gonna say, I can't see how the best advice isn't the best gift.
Get it? Ooh, you had some orange juice this morning. You had some orange juice. You got your vitamin C.
Yeah, I was out there in that sun walking, brother.
Yeah.
That right there just gets you thinking when you start moving. And, when you're talking about it, that whole situation, even dealing with that, like, hey man, if you can do it, take a walk, y'all. Don't do it right this moment, obviously, but walking is good, man. Especially the older we get, the more I'm noticing a good walk, man, is definitely a healthy start to anything.
Good walk is amazing, man. And if you didn't get it in the morning, sometimes if you can walk in the
Oh,
evening,
even nicer.
yep. I
Even nicer.
always, I always get my walks in, man. I just found out it's this walk I do at the job. Like I just go out. If I do it twice, it's over a mile.
Right.
So it's not really that hard. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So that I encourage it, man. A lot of these things that we're talking about, before we, get too far away from the questions, before we wrap that up, it's a lot of benefit to it, man. Not only do you physically get moving, but it's just like anything else, man. You get your legs moving, your mind gets moving, your thoughts
mm-hmm.
are better. Man, I walk and talk all the time. You know what I mean? And whether somebody thinks something's wrong or not, I don't care nothing about that. But you know how many times I've taken a walk and come back home and had it all figured out?
Yeah.
Like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had to walk and get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to pick a good one, man. I want to try to finish one out. Oh no, I don't want to
Sound,
go that way.
it sound like that almost sound like you looking for a scene. Yeah, man.
No, I'm gonna say this. Last one. Would you rather get an instant promotion by sleeping with the boss or through honest hard work? Now, we've been talking about finessing. I'm going to leave that one there as the last question. Would you rather get an instant promotion by sleeping with the boss or through honest hard work? Leave your answers in the comments section.
Yeah, I'm not even answering that. Yeah,
Oh,
this was another episode of Would You Rather. Let's bring that back. Right? Let's go, man. I'm not answering that question, man. What are you talking about, man? You off the hook.
well, I didn't say that. I didn't say the boss at your job. It could be if you look at the
Yeah.
wife, husband as a boss in your home.
Nah, I understand what you're saying. Nah,
I
I don't,
like that too, sis.
yeah.
Honest hard work, of course.
Yeah,
So, so,
I would never sleep my way to the top. I just wouldn't do that. You know what I
so,
mean?
so I'll say this, right? Because, and it was a fitting last question, in my opinion, for it to be the last one of the night on it. I want to use that to be able to chime into the reality of what those things look like. That question would line up more with the introduction of what quote unquote finessing probably to a lot of us was introduced, right? Doing something, with a outcome in mind, regardless of whatever you have to sell in terms of your soul or your own personal, mental freedom to get to the next level. You don't have to finesse anybody in life. That's why I wanted to kind of bring that up and say that. I wanted to finish with that question. Hard work, of course, like everybody's saying hard work. Everybody's saying hard work, and I totally agree with that. And I'm not surprised because I think that we all come from the same position in life. We understand that in order to get anything in life, you don't have to finesse it. You have to work hard. You got to stay dedicated, determined, locked in, and laser focused. We got to start also looking at the finesse word from a different perspective. We got to always stop thinking that it comes from a place of it being a negative thing. When you do something with finesse, sometimes it's a smooth, individual approach to be able to get things done. And it doesn't require you to sell yourself cheap, right? To do anything that would compromise the integrity of who you are. And you can do it in a smooth way that allows you to feel comfortable and sleep comfortable at night. So that was just the reason why I wanted to end with that question. I agree with y'all as well. Hard work. Definitely not interested in sleeping with nobody, boss. That was the end of those questions, man.
Yep.
So,
And
E
with
already took us out of there.
and with that being said, this has been episode 141 of the Porch Podcast, and we call this one Finesse. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
One more time for the quote of the day: persuasiveness takes finesse. It takes an understanding of human psychology and an intention. And intention is everything by Amanda D. Cadenett. That's it. All right, we gonna clap that up. Listen, y'all.
Absolutely.
Same time, same place. Well, I hope it's the same time, but the same place next week. You know what I mean? We'll be bringing you episode 142. This is the Porch Podcast. Do know that you can catch us on all your favorite podcasts and streaming sites. Like Stitcher, Spotify, Red Circle, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Audible. And P, where can they see us?
And you can see us each and every week, like E said, primarily on Tuesdays, unless that changes. And if it does, we will definitely give advance notice on that. If you want to see the live, we'll give you the time, and it'll be immediately available for for reshowing right after the show is over with. But also, you'll be able to catch the show on our YouTube channel at the Porch Podcast on YouTube on Thursdays. Usually premieres right around 7 p.m. Like we say each and every week, man, we appreciate you guys rocking in and locking out with. I mean, locking in and rocking out with us.
Lock
As
them
we
out.
say, you know what I mean. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit that notification bell on the actual YouTube channel so you can know when all of our shows and other content will be coming out. Stay tuned and keep rocking out with us, y'all. We appreciate y'all. This has been episode number 141. Finesse. We look forward to seeing y'all next week, man. We appreciate y'all, family. Y'all be good, man.
All right,
Peace.
y'all. Peace.